Storyworthy. My name is Christine Blackburn, and I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Whether you're a longtime fan of the show or a brand new listener, welcome to Storyworthy. Now, I know that the episodes have been coming, in small amounts. Every other week, I'm trying to get an episode out, but that's because and I know that I recently went through a huge situation with my hearing. I lost the hearing in my right ear last May in 24, and I recently received a cochlear implant. So I have not really been able to podcast consistently because it's not the talking. That's not the problem. The problem is the editing. Anyway, here I am. Welcome to Storyworthy. You guys, we had a fire out here. Did you hear about that? Yeah, we had a fire, all right, and it's still happening. It's very upsetting. This all began last Tuesday, January 7th, which is my birthday, and the day started out beautifully. I went to get my cochlear implant activated, and so the day started out great. I remember leaving the hospital. It was about noon, and it was windy. There was winds picking up, and then I heard something on the radio about the Palisades. There was a fire. But by that evening, Tuesday night, the wind was so strong. I'm talking about like 80 to 90 mile an hour per hour that it was shaking everything. I mean, everything outside was blowing over. Plants were practically flying out of my garden. You know what I mean? Like the wind was so strong, it was uprooting plants. And that's when things really took off. And, the devastation in the Palisades is it's beyond even talking about. I don't even know how you can comprehend what happened out there and in Malibu. Very, very upsetting. I spent quite a bit of time in Malibu for about 3 years dating two different people. And let me just start by saying this. Did I call either of them to check on them? Did I do that? Are you wagering whether I called or not? I did not call. I did not call either of them. And ladies and gentlemen, that's called moving on. That's right. That's called moving on. And, I don't want to open that door again. I do hope they're well. I do hope their homes are okay. But I did not reach out. Thank you. Maturity. That's what that is, folks. On the other side of things, I did have a couple of boyfriends reach out to me and see how I'm doing in LA, which is fine. However, it's like, now you care? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Here, let's talk about this. Malibu is such a special place, and the Palisades are a very special place. So this fire is just absolutely devastating for so many people, so many families, so many children. Malibu will never be the same. I mean, the Real Inn burnt down, and Rosenthal's wine shop burnt down, and the Thai restaurant everybody goes to burnt down. So it's just devastating. Now, the climate out here is very dry. It's a Mediterranean climate. So we've got the wet weather and then we've got the dry weather. And it has been exceptionally dry. So everything just took off. And, the good news is we had plenty of firefighters coming from other states and even Mexico and Canada. They've been coming here to California to help us. And there's a lot of support in the city for the people who are displaced, for the people who are hurting, and for the people who lost everything. So I'm really grateful to live in this kind of a city where you see people truly helping one another. I mean, it's almost like after 9/11 kind of thing. You know what I mean? But this is even worse in ways in terms of the people who've lost everything, even like a toothbrush or a towel. I read about one girl who lost her cochlear implant. And then, of course, that I have a cochlear implant now, and that one little device is worth $100,000, and you can't just replace it. So, stuff like that, it's just so devastating. And obviously nobody saw this coming. And then the Eaton fire broke out in Altadena. And Eaton Canyon is somewhere I used to take my kid frequently when they were a little a little kid, we would have a mom's club play date up there in Eaton Canyon because they had all this wonderful, wonderful wildlife and all these trails. Everything was marked what was what. So it was really good for kids. And I can picture exactly where that fire, started. And now the devastation in Altadena is just as devastating as the Palisades, if not even more so. Because Altadena is right beside Pasadena, and I adore Pasadena, and I love Altadena. I mean, these are just like pristine homes on these lovely streets that it's just like all American. You know what I mean? Like if you would see a movie that they filmed it in LA, but they're trying to make it look like someplace else, it's going to be filmed in Pasadena. They don't have a lot of palm trees in Pasadena, believe it or not, because Pasadena was settled by Midwesterners, and they kind of wanted that area to look more like the Midwest. So there's not a lot of palm trees in Altadena and Pasadena, but it's just a beautiful part of our city. And Altadena was known for its Christmas lights, and they actually have a road called Christmas Tree Lane that we go up every year to look at the lights. And I have several friends out there. One of my friends had to two of my friends evacuated, and one friend lost their home that I know in the Palisades. But, this is a big city. There's millions of people here. So, yeah, it's affected several 100,000 people, but that doesn't mean everybody. You know what I mean? There's millions of people here. I don't live in the Palisades. I don't live in Altadena. So I'm not as affected as others might be, but I am really appreciative to see the city come together and help one another. People are really trying to help. The gyms are open for free showering. All the fast food places are giving away free food. The grocery stores are giving away free water. People are really coming together. They've got these huge centers set up for assistance where there's clothes and there's household goods. So everybody is trying to help out. Of course, the problem remains that now there's no place to live for a lot of people. And so the rents and the homes that are available are being sucked up quickly. And then there's these bidding wars. Plus the owners of homes are jacking up rates, which is illegal, but they're doing it anyway. So, it's complete flipping devastation is what it is. And I used to and I still look at Lahaina and what happened there in Maui a couple years ago. And there's one guy on YouTube who takes his drone out every week and he talks about rebuilding Lahaina and how they're rebuilding and what was there and now what's coming, as it were. And I've watched so many of those videos, fascinated by the rebuilding of Lahaina. And I've never even been to Maui. And now that devastation is right here in my backyard. So it's just excruciatingly sad. And it's been very difficult on my kid, as I'm sure all the children, because they don't understand what's happening. And then the flippin' emergency personnel put out two wrong messages to everybody's cell phone that they have to evacuate when they didn't have to evacuate. So like my kid woke up crying in the night because they got this notice at 3 a.m., evacuate. And I didn't get the notice, but my kid comes in my bedroom and they're like, we have to go. Get the cats. And she was so worried about the cats. They're so worried about the cats because we only have one carrier. And I'm like, don't worry, Bama. We'll put the other kitty in the backpack. We're going to work this out. Anyway, it's just so sad. And everybody's looking at that app, Watch Duty, and it helps a little bit, but you still can't understand the air quality, and the winds and what exactly is going on. So, my heart just goes out to so many people who are affected by this. I mean, it's just so flippin' sad. Very, very upsetting. And I think a lot of people might leave California because, rebuilding, even cleaning up, just getting the cleanup done was going to take years, let alone the rebuild. So, and then even if you rebuild your house, fire insurance is going to go through the roof, making it prohibitive to even own a home anymore. So it's all messed up and it's very flippin' sad. But I will say, the comedy community has come together. The Comedy Store has been offering free shows, no cover charge, and people are still getting out, in the clubs. I've been out a good amount in the last 5 days. And, what are you supposed to do? Just stop laughing or, stop enjoying yourself? So I'm happy about that. I have a story smash coming up February 1st. February 1st, it's a Saturday night here in LA at the Lyric Hyperion, which is very much intact here in Silver Lake. And I'm hoping some folks can come out to Story Smash. I had one person cancel on me because, they're freaking out about the fires. And I said to the girl, Los Angeles isn't closing. Los Angeles isn't gone. There's 17 million people in Southern California. We're going to be fine. We're going to rebuild and we will be here. Story Smash will happen. We will continue laughing. We will continue using our talents. So, we just have to keep on keeping on and all that. But yeah, it's very, very sad. My cochlear implant, like I said, has been activated. So that's very exciting for me. Basically, though, I'm just hearing static, robotic voices, and tinny sounds. It's not great, but I understand it's going to get better and better and better. It just takes time. It's like I'm supposed to have somebody read a book to me 30 minutes a day. So they read to me and I'm looking at the page too. So I block up my good ear and I'm just trying to hear their words through the cochlear implant ear. You know what I mean? And follow along. And it's like I can hear their voice way down, 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 down low. And then on top of their voice are these layers of static and layers of a robots kind of a thing. Like if you held a thin piece of metal, like maybe a cookie sheet, and you waved it up and down like wah, 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 wah. That's what it sounds like. So the idea here is that I focus on the voice underneath and I try to retrain my brain to only hear the voice and not all the static. So like that's the theory. That's as I understand it. But I do see the audiologist every 2 weeks for a while. So we keep fine tuning, as it were. Check this out. My audiologist at USC, her name is Peyton. She has 2 cochlear implants. How about that? She was born deaf. She got her first cochlear implant at 14 and the second one at 25. And she's like 32, 33 now. A beautiful girl, fabulous girl. You'd never, never, never know she has cochlear implants because it's under your hair. You don't see it. And turns out she has the same one. I have the same one she has. There's 3 different companies that make these things. And I chose the company that Peyton chose because I figured if the audiologist chose that company, I'm going with that company. You know what I mean? Anyway, moving forward, 2025, my kid is back at school for their final semester of senior year, which is super exciting. They have applied to about 12 colleges, universities, and the welcome letters are coming in. So they're going to have to choose. Of course, it all comes down to financial aid and scholarships and grants and all that. So that as well is a bit of a process. But super exciting to already get a couple of acceptance letters. So my kid is doing well. They will be 18 years old on Thursday. That's right. My kid will be 18 years old. And I think my parenting duties are over. I think I'm done here. I think I can just wipe my hands clean and be on your way, child. Go join the army. My kid said, "Hey, Mom, if I come home from school next week with a tattoo, you can't do anything about it." And I'm like, "Honey, the door will be locked." No, that's not true. I don't really care. You want to ruin your body with tattoos, go right ahead. I have 3 tattoos, and I regret every one. Absolutely. Oh, well, what are you going to do, right? You live, you learn, you move forward, and that's what we're doing out here in LA. We're moving forward, moving on, and there are threats of more danger, but sometimes I think that they make these threats more sensational than they are, if that makes sense. Like they've got the whole country glued on these same 10 videos of the fires that they keep running on a loop, making it appear that the whole fucking city's burning down. Our idiot president actually, put a picture out of the Hollywood sign that said, "I told you so," or something idiotic like that. It's a fucking mess. The whole presidency thing. Boy, you want to talk about getting me off social media or getting me away from the news. The next 4 years, I am not going to be watching the news. I am not really even concerned with what happens in America because apparently the majority has spoken and I'm never leaving California. How about that? I'll never leave this state that actually treats you like an adult, that treats you with respect, and that has much more compassion than the rest of the country. LA County, we have more people in our county than 40 states individually. So we got a lot of people here. We got a lot of smart people here. So we're going to be just fine. So if Trump wants to fuck up the rest of America, sorry about that, guys. But California, we're going to stand strong. And who knows, maybe secede at some point. I mean, if we have to, we have to. I don't know. Anyway, you guys, for the people who've written to me, thank you so much for checking up. That's really kind of you. I do appreciate it. If you see the Hollywood sign and the Hollywood sign is okay, then you probably can consider that I'm okay because I live pretty close to that sign. A couple miles. But, if you see the observatory standing, then I'm okay because that's where I am on the east side of Los Angeles, kind of right in the middle of things. So where we are is okay as I speak. However, who knows? Griffith Park has caught on fire before. Anything could happen. So I just have all good, positive thoughts going toward everybody who is affected by these fires. Just devastating. And I hope that I can help in some way. I hope I can do something for somebody. And if anybody out there listening and they need a place to sleep, I do have a couch. So consider that. I hope you like cats. Anyway, you guys, 2025 is going to be an okay year. I just know it. We have to have faith. We have to believe in each other. We got to move on. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening to the show. Don't forget, Story Smash is February 1st at the Lyric Hyperion with Blaine Capatch and Danny Zucker. I also have Annie Korzen playing. Annie is a wonderful, fabulous lady who was on Seinfeld for years, actually. She's an older woman, and she's so critical. It's hilarious. So I can't wait. Come for the stories, stay for the criticism. StorySmashShow.com. Check it out. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening. And again, thank you for your emails and for your texts, from your texts. Thanks for checking on me and my kids. I really appreciate it. All right, you guys, I'll be back sooner than later, I promise. And on behalf of Storyworthy, my name is Christine Blackburn, saying, make it a storyworthy week.
Thanks for joining us on the Storyworthy podcast. We'll be back next week with all new stories. Subscribe to Storyworthy on iTunes and visit the Storyworthy website at storyworthypodcast.com.